Hey you guys! Today we are going to talk about the upcoming ASI token. We will also discuss the latest news, partnerships, and interesting events related to the participants of the largest AI collaboration in the cryptocurrency sphere. Why is there a fairly high chance that giant corporations will start investing in the development of ASI? How can ASI become the most important and largest AI product in the world? Also, we'll definitely talk about what you should do with your tokens, and I'll answer your questions from the comments. Moreover, I will definitely talk about my plans with the ASI token, so be sure to watch this video till the end so you don't miss out on the most important information. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. Let's get started. I'd like to start with the news about the postponement of the project's merger. Although earlier they said that they plan to make a full transition on June 13th. Just as we were making this video, the news came out that they are postponing the merge for a month. The reason given is that there are some technical and logistical difficulties that contributed to the delay. In general, it's not a big deal, but previously they talked about the end of last month. Then they removed that information, and now they're pushing it back a whole month. Here are some of the comments from the team representatives. Humayun Sheikh, founder of Fetch.ai, said, "We understand that the merger delay may be frustrating, but this delay is necessary to ensure a successful transition and integration of tokens across all platforms." Ben Goertzel, founder of SingularityNet. "This merger is an important step for the development of decentralized AI. We are confident that the additional time will allow us to make this process as efficient as possible. Personally, I'm not worried about it because they at least warned us about it, but I still have questions. Is it really impossible to prepare everything in advance, even though they said in March that they would merge projects? By the way, my experimental portfolio, which I have talked about several times, is in a very small surplus. Although the situation was much better a week ago, so you have indeed done a lot of damage to your own projects. But let's see what happens next. Personally, I don't plan to buy any more tokens, even though they were right at my entry points at the time of making the video. Meanwhile, you can see a lot of news about the fact that some major players are depositing large amounts of tokens on centralized exchanges. I think everyone understands why such a transfer to the exchange was made. A major player wants to unload his tokens. It's as simple as that. But I propose to move on to some news that could have a positive impact on the project in the future. Well, first of all, I have to say that right now the general impression of the project in the media is starting to change. The constant delays, problems, and unspoken words are starting to show. For example, you can see such a decrease in the number of mentions of the Fetch token, and the same situation can be seen for other participants in the combination, so they need to support their audience as much as possible, show that everything will be fine, and even postponements will not interfere with the further growth of the project. At the same time, while some wallets are massively dumping their Fetch coins, other major players are quite actively accumulating the same Fetch. And unfortunately, it is not clear if this is some kind of insider information or just a regular DCA. What do you personally think? By the way, you won't see such a picture for the other two tokens in the mix, which means that either the big players are waiting for an even bigger drop or they don't see any point in buying these assets at all. Despite this fact, many experts still believe that now is the time to pay attention to all three assets, as they are among the most interesting in the AI space. For example, analyst firm Sentiment recently published a post talking about Ocean, AGIX, and FET, and how these are the tokens to watch amidst the general AI hype. In addition, I would like to discuss a very interesting article based on the research of Leopold Aschenbrenner, a well-known figure in the field of AI. He spoke in detail about the possible speed of development of the level of artificial intelligence, how it will affect ordinary people and the world as a whole. However, the most interesting part begins when the author talks about AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. The author expresses quite interesting thoughts about it. AGI will become a crucial geopolitical resource, surpassing the importance of nuclear weapons. Creating AGI will require a unified computing cluster costing $1 trillion, similar to what Microsoft is building for OpenAI. Funding for AGI will come from big tech companies like NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, and Google, which are already budgeting $500 billion per quarter for AI. By 2030, annual investments in AI are expected to reach $30 trillion, And all of this is especially interesting in light of what the Fetch CEO said about combining projects. This marks the beginning of a new chapter in AI development, where our combined efforts will drive progress toward decentralized AGI and ASI. Our mission is to create a decentralized AI infrastructure at scale while ensuring ethical and trustworthy practices. By combining our platforms, we are empowering developers and users alike, fostering a more democratic and transparent AI ecosystem. And judging by what we saw in Leopold's article, AGI is truly going to change the world. And if the ASI project succeeds in developing this technology before others, they will become not only the largest AI project in crypto, but in the entire market. However, we cannot know if they will achieve these successes because at the moment they have problems with combining projects. So who knows, maybe it's just empty talk, and their project won't even come close to becoming a leader in this process. By the way, if we talk about some public work here and now, some news or updates on projects, the picture does not look good. Of all the projects, only Fetch has a really interesting page. They participate in various conferences and update their own AI agent models. Personally, I'm not very impressed, as this is not exactly what you expect from the flagships of the AI market, but let's talk about my impression a little later when we talk about the possible price potential in the future. In the meantime, I suggest we move on to some of your questions from the comments. In my last video, I told you what happens to your coins after the merger, what you should do with them, and so on. However, I see that many of you still have questions, so today, I will answer the most common ones. So let's start with the question about converting coins. What happens if your coins are on a centralized exchange like Coinbase or Binance? And also, what happens to your coins if they are just on a regular wallet? Well, the answer to this question is as simple as possible. If you hold AGIX, Ocean, or Fetch on one of the centralized exchanges that you see on your screen right now, the tokens will be converted automatically. However, if you hold your funds in your own wallet, you will need to take some additional steps with the smart contract that will be released closer to the ASI Lounge itself. Now, I would like to move on to the next question that I have been asked for a long time. The question relates to the futures market and what to do if you have open positions on tokens that will be combined. Unfortunately, the team itself has not yet provided such information, so I can only judge from my own opinion and experience. It seems to me that centralized exchanges will close trading pairs in advance to prevent the possibility of mistakes and trading with non-existent tokens. By the way, you can join the AMA project session tomorrow, and maybe you will have a chance to ask such a question. And now I would like to answer the last question, and finally move on to my price prediction. I am often asked why tokens are falling in price when the general news background is very positive. There are several reasons. Constant postponements of the combination, a not-so-good marketing campaign, and the general sentiment of the entire crypto market. I'm not going to go out on a limb here and say that my bullish mood changes to a more negative one with almost every video about ASI. There are many reasons for this, and the main one is the work of all the merge participants. After all, they are not running big marketing campaigns, they are not warming up the audience with any spoilers about the future project, and most importantly, they are constantly transferring a very important event of the merger into a single asset. So, if we talk about the short term, these are pretty good entry points. For all assets, they have come down quite a bit and are not showing a rapid recovery yet. However, I would ask you not to take this as financial advice, as this is just a look at the current market situation. Be sure to do your own research before investing. Given the current price points, I think we can see a 20–30% increase for each of the assets after the merger itself. However, this will only be possible if the projects are actively working and the general sentiment in the entire crypto market is more positive. At the same time, I believe that it is quite possible to see a sell-on news scenario that will lead to a significant price drop after the merge, so be careful and monitor the general news background very closely. And speaking of the longer term, I still think that at the top of the bull market, we will see a more reasonable price of up to $15. That will be very cool, because it will still be a very large capitalization. And that will only be possible if the merger goes well, and the companies really develop their product as much as possible. And I want to remind you that this video is in no way financial advice. This is just my vision and thoughts on the market, so you should always do your own research before investing and invest wisely. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the growth of coins. Thanks for watching your Coin Post.